Section 3. Safety and your vehicle. What's badly affected if the tyres are underinflated? Braking. When mustn't you sound your vehicle's horn? Between 11:30 p.m. and 7 a.m. in a built-up area. What makes the vehicle in the picture environmentally friendly? And it's a tram. It's obviously a tram. It's powered by electricity. Why have red routes been introduced in major cities? To help the traffic flow. What's the purpose of road humps, chicanes and narrowings? To reduce traffic speed. What's the purpose of a catalytic converter? To reduce harmful exhaust gases. It's essential that tyre pressures are checked regularly. When should this be done? When tyres are cold. When will your vehicle use more fuel? When its tyres are underinflated. How should you dispose of a used vehicle battery? Take it to a local authority site. What's most likely to cause high fuel consumption? Harsh braking and accelerating. The fluid level in your battery is low. What should you top it up with? Distilled water. You're parked on the road at night. Where must you use parking lights? Where the speed limit exceeds 30 miles per hour. How can you reduce the environmental harm caused by your motor vehicle? Keep engine revs low. What can cause excessive or uneven tyre wear? A faulty braking system. You need to top up your battery. What level should you fill it to? Just above the cell plates. Before starting a journey, it's wise to plan your route. How can you do this? Look at a map. Why is it a good idea to plan your journey to avoid busy times? You'll have an easier journey. You avoid busy times when travelling. How will this affect your journey? You're less likely to be delayed. It can be helpful to plan your route before starting a journey. Why should you also plan an alternative route? Your original route may be blocked. You're making an appointment and will have to travel a long distance. How should you plan for the journey? Allow plenty of time for the trip. What can rapid acceleration and heavy braking lead to? Increased fuel consumption. Which of these, if allowed to get low, could cause you to crash? Brake fluid level. What can cause excessive or uneven tyre wear? Faults in the suspension. What's the main cause of brake fade? The brakes overheating. What should you do if your anti-lock brakes ABS warning light stays on? Have the brakes checked immediately. What does it mean if this light comes on while you're driving and it's an exclamation mark within a circle within 2 brackets on a red square, and it's a fault in the braking system? So very serious. It's important to wear suitable shoes when you're driving. Why is this? To maintain control of the pedals. What will reduce the risk of neck injury resulting from a collision? A properly adjusted head restraint. You're testing your suspension. You notice that your vehicle keeps bouncing when you press down on the front wing. What does this mean? Worn shock absorbers. How will a roof rack affect your car's performance? Fuel consumption will increase. Which of these makes your tyres illegal? They have a large, deep cut in the side wall. What's the legal minimum depth of tread for car tyres? 1.6 millimeters. You're carrying 2 13-year-old children and their parents in your car. Who's responsible for seeing that the children wear seatbelts? You, the driver. How can drivers help the environment? By accelerating gently. How can you avoid wasting fuel? By having your vehicle serviced regularly. What could you do to reduce the volume of traffic on the roads? Walk or cycle on short journeys. What's most likely to waste fuel? Underinflated tyres. What does the law require you to keep in good condition? Seat belts. Up to how much more fuel will you use by driving at 70 miles per hour compared with driving at 50 miles per hour? 30%. When you use the brakes, your vehicle pulls to one side. What should you do? Have the brakes checked as soon as possible. What will happen if your car's wheels are unbalanced? The steering will vibrate. Turning the steering wheel while stationary can cause damage to which part of your car? Tires. You have to leave valuables in your car. What's the safest thing to do? Lock them out of sight. Which of the following may help to deter a thief from stealing your car? Etching the registration number on the windows. Which of the following shouldn't be kept in your vehicle? The vehicle registration document. What should you do when leaving your vehicle parked and unattended? Lock it and remove the key. What will improve fuel consumption? Reducing your speed. You service your own vehicle. How should you get rid of the old engine oil? Take it to a local authority site. Why do MOT tests include a strict exhaust emission test? To help protect the environment against pollution. How can you reduce the damage your vehicle causes to the environment? Anticipate well ahead. What will be the result of having your vehicle properly serviced? Better fuel economy. You enter a road where there are road humps. What should you do? Maintain a reduced speed throughout. When should you especially check the engine oil level? Before a long journey. You are having difficulty finding a parking space in a busy town. You can see there's a space on the zigzag lines of a zebra crossing. Can you park there? No, not under any circumstances. What should you do when you leave your car unattended for a few minutes? Lock it and remove the key. When leaving your vehicle, where should you try to park? In a secure car park. Where would parking your vehicle cause an obstruction? In front of a property entrance. What's the most important reason for having a properly adjusted head restraint? To help you avoid neck injury. What causes the most damage to the environment? Making a lot of short journeys. What can people who live or work in towns and cities do to help reduce urban pollution levels? Walk or cycle. How can you reduce the chances of your car being broken into when leaving it unattended? Take all valuables with you. How can you help to prevent your car radio being stolen? Install a security-coded radio. How can you lessen the risk of your vehicle being broken into at night? Leave it in a well-lit area. Which of these will help you to keep your car secure? Vehicle watch scheme. On a vehicle, where would you find a catalytic converter? On the exhaust system. What can driving smoothly achieve? Reduction in fuel consumption by about 15%. Which driving technique can help you save fuel? Missing out some gears. How can driving in an eco-safe manner help protect the environment? By reducing exhaust emissions. What does eco-safe driving achieve? Improved road safety. You're checking your trailer tyres. What's the legal minimum tread depth over the central 3/4 of its breadth? 1.6 millimeters. Fuel consumption at its highest when you're doing what? Accelerating. When it's acceptable for a passenger to travel in a car without wearing a seatbelt. When is it acceptable? When they're exempt for medical reasons. You're driving a friend's children home from school. They're both under 14 years old. Who's responsible for making sure they wear a seatbelt or approve child restraint where required? You, the driver. You have too much oil in your engine. What could this cause? Oil leaks. You're carrying a 5-year-old child in the back seat of your car. They're under 1.35 metres, that's 4 feet 5 inches, tall. A correct child restraint isn't available. How should you seat them? Using an adult seat belt. You're carrying an 11-year-old child in the back seat of your car. They're under 1.35 metres, 4 feet 5 inches tall. What must you make sure of? That a suitable child restraint is available. You're parked at the side of the road. You'll be waiting some time for a passenger. What should you do? Switch off the engine. You want to put a rear-facing baby seat on the front passenger seat, which is protected by a frontal airbag. What must you do before setting off? Deactivate the airbag. You're leaving your vehicle parked on a road and unattended. When may you leave the engine running? Never if you're away from the vehicle. Now the case study. You drive through the city centre, choosing to travel outside the rush hour. In the city, there are double red lines along the roadside. Later, you reach a major junction. The traffic lights aren't working, but there are very few vehicles on the road. At work, you have to park on the roadside. When parking, your steering feels a little heavy. You pick up your laptop to take to work and lock the car. You leave your camera on the back seat. What effect could your choice of travel time have on your journey? Reduced travel time. What do the red lines mean? No stopping at any time. What should you do at the traffic lights? Proceed with care as with an unmarked junction. What could be affecting your steering? Tyres that are underinflated. What should you do with your camera? Lock it away securely out of sight.